You ready?
All right, look, we're in the book of Ecclesiastics. Now I have a commentary Bible, so it gives us more information. It says the key word in Ecclesiastics is vanity, the futile emptiness of trying to be happy apart from the Most High. The preacher traditionally taken to be Solomon. So now we first learned that Solomon was the first preacher, the wisest, richest, most influential king in Israel's history. In Israel's history. He looks at life under the sun and from the human perspective declared it all to be empty, power, popularity, prestige, and pleasure, and that nothing can fill the Most High shape void in man's life but the Most High himself. But once seen from the Most High's perspective, life took on a different meaning and purpose, causing Solomon to exclaim, "Eat, drink, rejoice, do good, live joyfully, fear the Most High, and keep His commandments." Skepticism and despair melt away when life is viewed as a daily gift from the Most High. Now, the Hebrew title Oheliot is a rare term found only in Ecclesiastes. It comes from the word kawal, to convoke an assembly to assemble. Thus it means one who addresses an assembly, a preacher. The Septuagint, used by the Greek word ecclesiastics as its title for this book, derived from the word ecclesia, assembly, congregation, church. It simply means preacher. The Latin ecclesiastics means speaker before an assembly. All right, so Solomon was the king of all kings, and now he lives life different from anybody. So he's giving you a perspective of him being as high as he is in the earth. If he feels everything is worthless towards the Most High, what do you think your life is? So this is what we're supposed to be taught. So it starts off, the words of the preacher. So the niggas always talking about, man, you trying to be a preacher and stuff. Well, the preacher was the king of all kings, the son of David. He was the son of David, king in Jerusalem, and he was a king in Jerusalem. So a preacher wasn't a nigga just walking around with the Bible telling you good things you want to hear, or even you niggas think that me being a preacher because I want to argue with you. The preacher is the son of David, king in Jerusalem. And he said, vanities of vanities, saith the preacher. So listen, after he talked, it tells you who's saying this. So niggas don't know what a preacher is. Ecclesiastes verse 1 and verse 2 and chapter 1 tells you that the words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem, vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. It says futility of futility. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? Toys or labor. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh. But the earth still here forever. The sun also arise, and the sun go down, and hasten to his place where he arose, and go right back to where he arose. The wind go forth to the south, and turn about into the north. It whirleth about it continually, and the wind returneth again according to its circuit. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full, until the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof may be said, see, this is new? It hath been already of old time, which has been before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, there go that preacher word again, was king. He was not just a preacher, he was king
We should have
over
Facebook Lived it.
Israel in Jerusalem. And I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail have God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. So now the king, he said he was the preacher. Feel me? And we learn that the preacher word comes from the Greek and the Hebrew, oheli, and it means speak to the assembly. So the preacher ain't just telling you, it's speaking to the assembly, but you have to be a king, a judge, a righteous person. So it say over Israel. So he was the king over Israel, but he was in Jerusalem. So those are two separate places. And then he say he gave his heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. So he wanted to know what happens under all things under heaven. And the Most High have given to the sons of men to be exercised therewith. So he want to know everything that the Most High has allowed man to do under heaven. And he said, I've seen all the works that are done under this, and the Most High showed it to him. And he said, behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered, lacking. I commune with my own heart. So he said he seen this with his own heart, saying, lo, I done come to great estate. Now I done been rich as I can be, and I have more wisdom than all that they have been before me in Jerusalem. Yet my heart have great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I gave my heart to know wisdom. So he said he put all his mind and soul into wisdom, and to know madness and folly. And he perceived that also it is vexation of spirit. So he's still mixing something within the spirit. For much wisdom is much grief. And he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. So when you get a whole bunch of knowledge, you be sad because you learned the truth and it hurts you. And he said in his heart, go to now, I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this also is vanity. So he said he tried to make himself feel good by little
I just learned a lot in 7 minutes. 7 minutes and 44 seconds.
He said he just, you feel me, he used to go with like perfume or whatever, just the good the good feeling scene.
Yeah.
Then he say I saw that, then he's like, I said of laughter, it is mad, like this ain't worth shit of mirth. What does it do? And I sought in my heart to give myself into wine. So he like, damn, this ain't working, let me try some drink. Feel me?
Yeah.
And yet acquainting my own heart with wisdom. So I'm still learning and I'm drinking, and I lay hold to on folly till I might see what was that good for the sons of men. So he's thinking, okay, so if somebody has bad problems and they desire to use mirth, what would that make them feel? He's like, they still feel like shit. Something's still missing. So he's the king. So he has to experience this in order to judge a person. So if somebody gets charged with drinking, I had to be under the same influence as you to understand why they can't. So he's like, okay, so I tried that. I see they still and they feel me. Now I'm drinking. And I'm like, you feel me? Which they should do under the heaven. He was like, I made great works and I built me houses, you feel me? And I planted vineyards. I made gardens. I made orchards. I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. Like I made pools of water to water where the wood that bringeth forth trees. I got servants and maid servants. I had servants born in my house. Also, I had great possessions of great and small cattle above all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered me also silver and gold and the peculiar treasure of kings. Like, nigga, I wasn't just taking shit for myself. I'm taking it from other people. You hear me? And they sending it to me. Like, I got everything. I have it all. You feel me? I had men singers and women singers. And the delights of the sons of men and musical instruments and all that. So I had bands. You talking about you got, nigga, I had that. Feel me? I'm the king of all kings. So I was great. So he telling you, listen, I was great. And I increased more than all that was before me in Jerusalem. Also wisdom remained with him, so he was still intelligent. And whatsoever his eyes desired, he kept not from them, and withheld not his heart from any joy, for his heart rejoiced in all his labor, and this was his portion of all his labor. Then he looked on all the works that his hands had wrought, and on the labor that he had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. Feel me? And I turned to myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly, for what can the man do that cometh after the king? So Solomon like shit. If I'm not impressed by all of what can somebody do after me? And I'm the king. You feel me? Like I'm controlling everything. And I done built this mansion, this palace, this, all of this. I got this many servants, and I'm not happy. What the hell can you do after me to make yourself happy? None of this is worth nothing without the Most High. Feel me? But he the king. So then he said, I seen, and he said, then I saw that the wisdom excelled folly as far as light excelleth darkness. The wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. And I myself perceive also that of one event happened to them all. Then said I in my heart, as it happened to the fool, so it happened even to me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart that this also is vanity. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool. In the days to come shall all be forgotten. And how dieth the wise man as the fool? Therefore I hated life. That's Adam's curse. Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit, futility, a grasping for the wind. Yea, I hated all my labor, which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me. So he like, I done did all this shit to leave it to somebody who may not even think like me. Fuck life. This ain't worth shit. He like, man, I hated life. You hear me? This is real talk. It's the king. He was wiser than everybody. Therefore I went about to cause my heart to despair of all the labor which I took under the sun. For there is a man whose labor is in wisdom, and in knowledge, and in equity. Yet to a man that have not labored therein shall he leave it for his portion. This also is vanity and great evil, with skill heresy. For what hath a man of all his labor, and of the vexation of his heart, wherein he hath labored under the sun? For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This also is vanity. There is nothing better for a man than that he shall eat and drink, and that he shall make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also I saw, that it was from the hand of the Most High. For who can eat, or who else can hasten hereunto more than I? So he's saying, who can have more enjoyment than me? So you might as well eat, just enjoy yourself, because I'm not enjoying myself, and so what can you do that I can't do? Feel me?
Right.
And I'm way higher than you. So he's like, shit, I seen this came from the Most High. It's nothing. Because I'm king, I want to get rid of this damn pain and sorrow I'm feeling. Because I'm like, shit, if I can't, what can you do? Nigga, enjoy that shit. No, the sad thing to tell us this now. For the Most High giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy, but to the sinner he give travail, to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before the Most High. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal. See how they came up with that wicked ass movie, A Time to Kill?
Yeah, A Time to Kill.
Right, and it's really A Time to Kill though, but it wasn't for that wicked ass Hollywood movie. But that's just how they do you. And it say a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep, which means cry, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, which means for the death, and a time to dance, which means to celebrate, not celebration all the damn time. Feel me?
Mm-hmm.
A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones. So that means there's a time to work and then there's a time to just relax, to not go look for no money. Every day you are not supposed to chase money in some type of form of monetarily gain or any financial substance. That is an abomination to the Most High's covenant he made with the children of Israel to like not be working the land so much. You feel me? But
Mm-hmm.
a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. So it's a time to show love and it's a time to stop. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. It's a time to rend and a time to sow. It's a time to keep silence and it's a time to speak, tear apart. And that references Amos chapter 5 verse 13. It say a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Right now we're in a time of war. Don't let America fool you and think we're in peace. But what profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? So what profit you get in all this shit you do? I have seen the travail which the Most High have given to the sons of men to be exercised in. So I've seen everything that a man can do to prosper, whether if it's good or bad. The Most High gave me the wisdom, Solomon saying, to see it, because I'm the judge of Israel, of kings of kings. Like, I have to know all this in order to be righteous. So he showed me this. I asked him, and when he showed me this, I was just hella sad. I was like, just eat and drink, because I ain't enjoying my shit. How you gonna enjoy yours? But he said, seeing through all of this, you feel me? I have seen that he say he had made everything beautiful in his time. So the Most High has made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he set the world in their hearts so that no man can find out the work that the Most High make it from the beginning to the end. Feel me? So he
Mm-hmm.
say, what profit have he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? I have seen the travail, which the Most High have given to the sons of men to be exercised in. He have made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he have set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that the Most High maketh from the beginning to the end. I know, Solomon saying, that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of the Most High. I know that whatsoever the Most High doeth, it shall be forever. No, nothing can be put to it, nothing can taken away from it. And the Most High doeth, that men shall fear before him. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And the Most High requires that which is the
There we
past.
go. It's better.
So the Most High requires you to know what happened in the past. You can't forget about that. It says, we're going to read it again. It say, we're going to start at verse 9 of chapter 3. It say, what profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboreth? I have seen the travail, which the Most High hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in. When he says the time to kill time, all of that, he said, I've seen all of that. That's what men go through. Feel me? That the Most High gives that to men to be exercised in. He have made everything beautiful in his time. So no matter what you look at life, it's beautiful in his time. Also, he have set the world in their heart so that no man can find out the work that the Most High maketh from the beginning to the end. And he knows that there is, and Solomon knows that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the labor of all his labor, and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of the Most High. For Solomon knows that whatsoever the Most High doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nothing can taken away from it, and the Most High do it, so that men shall fear before him. It referenced James chapter 1, verse 17. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And the Most High required that which is past. And moreover, he saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. And he said in his heart, Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. He said in his heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For they which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them. As that one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence over a beast, for all his advantage. So no man has advantage over a beast, for all his vanity. And go unto one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For that who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praise the dead, which are already dead, more than the living which are yet alive. Yea, better is he that both they, which had not yet been, who had not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. Again, I considered all travail and every right work, that for this man is envied of his neighbor. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit. The fool foldeth his hands together and eateth his own flesh. Better is an handful with quietness than both the hands full with travail and vexation of spirit. Then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Yea, he hath neither child nor brother. Yet is there no end of all his labor. Neither is his eye satisfied with riches. Neither say he, for whom do I labor, and bereave my soul for good? This is also vanity. Yea, it is a sore travail. So he say, he is one man. Feel me? And it's not a second. So he has no brother, nor child. Yet he does not have to, yet he has to work every day. And his eyes never satisfied, nor is he rich, and he never questions himself, who the hell am I working for? Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe, destruction, to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up. Again, if two lie together when they have heat, if two lie together, then they have heat. But how can one be warm alone? And if one prevail against him, two shall withstand him, and a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Better is a poor and wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished, youth longer. For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living which walk under the sun, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in them. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High. For the Most High is in heaven, and you are on earth. Therefore let your words be few. For a dream cometh through the multitude of business, and a fool's voice is known by multitude of words, effort, or activity. When you vow a vow unto the Most High, so all you idiots out here talking about, oh God, and also, nigga, listen to this, because they should have taught y'all this, because y'all finna be, oh man, they finna be in trouble, because that's the number one saying right now. But it say, when thou vowest a vow unto the Most High, defer not to pay it, for he have no pleasure in fools. Pay that which you has vowed. Do not delay that. For it say, it is better that you should not vow than you should not vow and not pay. Suffer. That means allow not yourself, your mouth, to cause your flesh to sin. Neither say before the angel, Don't say this before none of God's holy angels, that it was an error. Wherefore should God be angry at your voice and destroy the work of your hands? Excuse. For in the multitude of dreams and many words there are also divers vanities. But fear the Most High. If you seek the oppression of the poor and violent perverting of judgment, injustice in the province, marvel not at the matter. For he that is higher than the highest regarded, and there be higher than they. Did you listen to America? This is to you. So to the people that seek to oppress the poor and violently pervert judgment and justice in the province, do not marvel at that. Do not be excited. Do not be happy, because for you regard that just because you're higher, but there's always someone higher than you. Praise the Most High. It say, moreover, the profit of the earth is for all. So everything on this earth is for everybody to have. You ain't supposed to dictate how much they can make. None of that. This is the Most High's earth. He created earth, cuz why is we paying everybody else to live here? Wake up, Yahuwah. And it say, he that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver. So he's telling you, so whoever loves silver so much, you still ain't gonna be satisfied, because it's way more silver than you like. You hear what I'm saying? It wasn't just made for you. And nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. So futility. So it's like, the more you like shit, you're gonna be just like evil, because you want to control it, because you just see too much and you just want to, you feel me?
Babe, you can't put that in.
What? You can't put what in there? Drink and live in that? Hell yeah, you can. It's a real lie. But yeah, we took a break though because of men.
So you want me to stop it?
Yeah, stop it. We had